Hello everyone, welcome once again to Beginner to Advanced Excel course by Slidescope. And in this part, we are learning about what are ribbons in Microsoft Excel. Once you have Excel installed on your computer, you can simply type Excel here and now you can open the Excel app. This will open Excel for you, and from here you can open a blank workbook. This blank workbook is where you will manage your data. You can create data, manage data for different type of operations as we discussed in previous chapters. Now here we are trying to learn what are ribbons in Excel. The ribbon in Excel is the main toolbar at the top of Excel window, the toolbar that you can see here. It organizes Excel's commands and features into a series of tabs, making it easy to navigate and use the tool you need. Each tab on the ribbon contains a collection of related commands grouped together. For example, there is Home tab, there is Insert tab. So you can see there is File tab. Once you will press this tab, you will see various options. So in the File tab, you can see from here you can create a new workbook. You can open your recently created Excel files. You can open a file that is saved on your computer. You can print your file. You can see here, even though we wrote the content in spreadsheets, but you can see the content is appearing just like a document here. You can export your file. You can create PDF or XPS document. You can close it, and there are more things like account and options which we will see later. So this is what the file tab will do. Then you have the home tab. In the home tab you can see basic editing, formatting and quick options. You can see here like you can paste the data, you can cut the data, remove the selection and put it on the clipboard. Suppose I want to remove this selection, so you can select your cell and then press this. So this it is now copied on the clipboard. You can, if you don't want to cut, you can copy. If you want to, and you can also use the format painter. So you can press Ctrl V. So Ctrl C and Ctrl V are the commands on Windows that you can use to copy and paste the data, or you can right click here and you can copy, and then you can right click wherever you want to paste the data. So we can paste it as a special and you can paste. Obviously there is a lot we will see later. This is, if obviously these are some things that you might be familiar about, so you can skip this chapter. But if you want to understand the meaning of these tabs and what can you do with it, then obviously you can continue with the chapter. So if you know the basic stuff, you can skip that chapter and move to the next chapter in the playlist. Otherwise, just try to understand. Now here in the home tab, you will see option to change the font of your text, and you will see option to change the size of your text. Like you can see, you can change the font size, you can highlight, so you can fill color in a cell. And this is where each row in Excel has a number, which you can say serial number or index is there, and every column in Excel is labeled with this alphabet. So if we are selecting this, so this will be called A1 because A is the column name and 1 is the row. Okay. Similarly, if you are on this, so this is B1, this is B2 because we are on the second row. So from here and here you can see on which cell you are currently. Okay. Now from here we have these different options like increase the font size, decrease the font size. You can wrap the text also. So you can see this text has multiple lines with the help of wrap text. If I undo the wrap text, you will see it is going beyond this boundary. Suppose by cell boundary is like this. So you can use your mouse and you can drag the width of your cell, right? So let's say the width of my cell is like this, and it is going beyond the width of my cell, so I can wrap text. Okay. Similarly, this cell is also going beyond my width, so I can wrap text. So this is something that you can do with the help of alignment. So you can see in the home tab itself, for basic editing, formatting and quick action, each tab is divided into sections that are called groups. So these are all groups, which organize related commands. For example, the home tab has group like clipboard, font, alignment. So you have alignment, you have number, you have a style, you have cells, which you will see. So all these options are something that you will see later, but this is a basic thing that you can do. You can also merge in center. Okay, so now you can see it is aligned in center. Similarly, in insert tab, you will see options like pivot tables. So we have a group called table where we have pivot table. Then we have a group called illustration from where you can insert different type of shapes in your data. So to make your cell more appealing, you can insert pictures. Then you can insert charts also. For example, you can insert a pie chart where you can select the data and do styling. This is all what we will see later, but obviously this is something that we have to do. And similarly, we have spark lines, we have filters. So you can use a slicer filter or a timeline filter. Suppose there is some data, there is a huge amount of data in your Excel workbook and you want to filter, let's say for California. So let's say you have data of each state, but you want data of one particular state. So you can use this filter, which you will see. You can use links to create a link in your document for quick access to web pages and files also. Hyperlinks can also take you places in your document. Suppose you are somewhere in your document and you have other documents also, so you can use that. So we have text, we have equations and symbols, which we will see later. Similarly, we have page layouting tab. So in the page layout tab, we have themes. For example, you want a different theme for your Excel, right? You want sometimes what happens is companies have brand guidelines. So we will see the use of themes, fonts, and effects here. That obviously this is something that you will see later, but this will be handy when you are making your workbooks or reports as per your company's brand guideline or some theme that you have in your mind. Similarly, you can set margins, you can set normal margin. Obviously, right now you are not seeing changes because this is something which we will cover in different chapters. So we have page setup here, scale to fit. You can see width is automatic, 4 page, 1 page, automatic. These are where we will see, you can uncheck view headings and see headings. So you can see all those headings like which I was referring to, column A, B, C, D and rows 1, 2, 3, 4 are now gone. Here you can see grid lines are gone. So things like that. You can arrange things like bring forwards and backwards. So if there are multiple layers, so you can send something backward, bring something forward and all. Then the most important part is formula. You can insert function like trim, sum, average, hyperlink, count, sign, PMT. These most recently used. Then financial formulas are there. Then your statistical formulas are there. So everything is there in Excel that we will learn one by one. And then you have data like from text or CSV. From here you can get data from different files. Like suppose you want to get data from a JSON file, from XML file. Whatever we are seeing here, again, you might be using some version of Excel uh, that may look a little bit different from this, but more or less, this is something which is going to be so more or less most of these things will be same. So you just have to see the options. Simple thing is like if you have to get data from different data sources, you can come from here. Like there are other table like from ODBC, blank query, from web, from table range. You can combine different queries like merge and append. So this will be very much useful. Let's say there are two or more tables where our actual data is and we have to combine them to create a new table. So we will understand this option here. Then we have reviews like spelling, thesaurus, workbook statistics, smart lookup, translate. We have view like we can do the page break, we can do the page layouting, we can make the custom views. So we let's switch back to normal view. You can zoom your selection, you can zoom out of your selection, you can arrange a new window. Again, these are the things that we will cover while explaining different topics. And so this is the important thing, like these are some key tabs that I have mentioned here. Like home tab is your key tab, insert tab is key tab for adding objects like tables, charts, pictures and more. We also have page layout tab that can be used for controlling the page setup and experience and appearance, user experience and appearance. Then most important key tab in Excel is formulas tab for accessing formula related tools like functions library, define name, formula auditing, calculation. We have data tab as I explained for importing, transforming and managing data. So data transformation is something that can be done in Excel very efficiently. So this is very important. Then we have review tab that is for proofreading and collaboration, and views tab for customizing the views and layout. We have groups like workbook view, show, zoom, window, macros. So in view you will see these things like macros are very important. You can view macro, record a macro, you can use relative references. So what is macro? Each of the command you perform will be saved in the macro so that you can play them back again. What is a macro? When is it used? Because this is also important. So everything that you see here can be used in your daily operations. Like if you don't have too much, if you just have regular work, then you know arranging your data. Like for example, from here I can add another sheet. So this in this workbook, this is our first sheet. You can add more sheets here, and in the sheet, let's say I want to save users data. So here I will write user ID, user name and user email. So when I will write this, and here I can select them, make them bold and highlight them. So this is something very easy. Now here user ID is 1, username is Mohit and user email is mohit at test.com. Let's say user ID is 2, username is John. So you can see when we have email written here, it has automatically created a hyperlink which can now take me to my mail or Outlook from where I can directly mail this user. Similarly, we have written here John, so John at test.com, something like that. So this is how you can save and manage your data. And now you can click save as. So when you will click save as, it will ask for your file's location. Let's say I want to save in dataset, my book. And from here, you can select save as type. So you can see the different types that are available here like Excel workbook, Excel macro enabled workbook, binary workbook, CSV, which is comma separated file or comma delimited file, as a PDF file, a XPS document, open document spreadsheet, ODS. So there can be different things that you can do. and now you can simply save this. So this is the very basic, very basic chapter where we have just learned about different tabs, or what are ribbons in Excel, what are the meaning of these tabs, and how you can create a sheet, and how you can save your sheet. More related to Excel and the actual use of Excel and its operation will be discussed in upcoming chapters. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.